Today I would like to bring you information about tourism and its diversity in Kenya. To make you understand, I would like to break it down into three elements: the scene, sand and sun, backed by a very elaborate facilitation by government and private investors. But first I'd like to take you up the highest mountains, and that is Mount Kilimanjaro. And I would like for you imagine sitting there with a powerful binoculars at 19,340 feet and looking down on the plains called Oloitokitok. And here you come across a lion that is laying down and waiting for its prey. And on the left or on the right, you see herds and herds of some of the most beautiful animals you have only seen in pictures. The buffaloes, the elephants, the giraffes, the rhinos, and all this drinking water from the coming down the mountain, or like giraffes eating from the tops of the trees. That is just a small sample of what Kenya tourism offers to many that come to Kenya. Now, I want us to focus now on these three elements, starting with the scene. Kenya's landscape is replete with some of the best savannas in the world, with some of the most unique wildlife species. Hundreds of thousands of square miles are covered by these savannas, and tourists can get tour safaris can take you to any place in those areas. Now, Kenya has two main mountains, like we mentioned. There is Kilimanjaro at 19,340 feet and Mount Kenya at 17,078 feet. These attract some of the best mountain climbers. Now, archaeological sites and caves that tell the story of man back into hundreds of millions of years. Unique sand beaches along the coast of Kenya with the Indian Ocean, bathed by the warm equatorial waters from the Indian Ocean, provide for the best marine tourist attractions. There are also the old cities like Mombasa, Malindi, and Lamu, established in the 1400s by some of the Portuguese sailors that came for trade in slaves, and those old places where they held slaves are still there today. There is a sailing, swimming, scuba diving, and fishing, surfing in the warm waters of Indian Ocean as an attraction. Now, the next unique element is the sunny equatorial climate in Kenya. Kenya is lies astride the equator, the imaginary line of equator. At one point, you could be standing astride the northern and southern hemisphere at the same time. Maybe drinking in a bar, or even in a lodge. You're sleeping your head on the northern hemisphere and your feet on the southern hemisphere. Now, facilitation in Kenya's tourism includes the tours and travel by road, air travel, use of some of the best airports like Jomo Kenyatta Airport. Tour guides that help the tourists get around they flow in different languages spoken in the world today. Now, hotels and lodges are some of the best in the world, and tourists are able to choose between whatever they can afford, because the price ranges, is quite diverse. Now, in conclusion, those three unique elements, the scene, the sand, and the sun, coupled with the best facilitation, they all come together to create the most enjoyable tourist experience that many come and return, and they never have enough. That is what makes the difference between the expensive and the affordable, between the boring and enjoyable. Welcome to Kenya.